Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us into this webinar today with 10 reasons of why your company needs your CRM solution. My name is Alberto Hernandez, Sales Director of Doble Group, a field consulting firm based in the United States, covering all the regions of Latin America and the Caribbean. I think everyone is on board so far. Just to remind you, as housekeeping rules, please remember to post your questions on the chat, and at the end of the webinar we will answer all of them. Okay, all of the ones we can, depending on the time we have available. So we will start right away, just for the respect of the time of people who are joining us. Before starting our countdown, it is very important for me to say that I normally start my meeting saying this little phrase here, and is that the relationship you have with your customers will ultimately make the difference. It doesn't matter your industry, it doesn't matter what you do, the relationship of that person with you, and with you I mean your company, will be what makes the difference between having them as a customer or losing them forever. So being that said, you have to keep in mind the customers not only buy or get service from you as a brand or as a big or small company, they will buy from you as the person who represents the company and all the information and knowledge that comes out of you. So no matter if you work in a service department or a sales or marketing team, people prefer to talk to someone who knows about them because it makes them feel more important. Okay, so the power of the CRM is that. It gives you all the information you need at the time of need. Okay, so beginning our countdown of the 10 reasons of why your company needs a CRM solution. The first one, we'll stop here saying that it gives you better, not give you, obviously gives you, but when you need better management of your sales team, marketing, and customer service operations. You can split this into two perspectives: what the directors and managers team wants, and what the users who interact with the customer want. For us, both are equally important, but we must recognize that those who will use the tool and make the CRM implementation and with a happy story are the users. These are basically the ones in contact with your customers, who handle all the information, who will be inputting everything into the CRM, and are the ones who will be willing to make the job easier for the ones managing them. Okay, so we're talking about that this CRM users will be better trained, adhering to their processes and to the best practices, and able to have better leads qualification, obtain better results in sales, and raise their capabilities to provide an extraordinary customer service. All of this is possible when you have the right tool. So if we look at the higher level, we're talking about managers, directors, VPs, not only they'll have a better view of their business operation, but it will provide them access to information necessary to take action, defining sales and service strategies when creating budgets, prepare forecasts, or develop campaigns. So it's basically a big overview. It starts with for me, it starts with the coworkers, the ones that use the CRM on a daily basis, which are basically the ones putting information into it and making the company more knowledgeable, and allowing the higher levels to take better decisions with the information being input into the system. So the next reasons would be maximizing your revenue growth. You can all agree with me that most of the time, one of the purposes of having a company is to make it grow. And 90% of that time, growing means to acquire more users, more customers, and making and because of that, having bigger sales teams, which basically translates into more sales. In order to do this, you will focus on improving marketing effectiveness, and once you start, you will have enough tools to create, measure, and compare which of all campaigns you're currently investing in are the most suitable for your business, and focus on the one that really gets more leads, and use the CRM capabilities to qualify these leads better. Having more leads will take you to higher numbers of opportunity conversion, and this is what the CRM does, basically. It allows you to have a better insight of your database so that you qualify your leads based on your company or department criteria, so that you can focus on the ones that really are worth it. So, being that said, you'll have a bunch of leads, a big list of leads, and using some sort of qualification. We use stars normally. If the rule in our company is if it has more than 2 stars, you have to focus on them more than in the others. And that focus comes with X amount of follow-ups per month or per week, and X or a different treatment for those who have more qualification. Let's put it that way. So you qualify them. The next step after that is to apply the information obtained to close business opportunities. You'll become more strategic at your sales, ensuring that you have all the information you require, such as the customer needs, the solutions for those needs, how's the decision-making process, who makes the decision in that decision-making process, which are the next steps, if you have any red flags on that specific sales, how to apply an effective closing plan for this red flags, if there are any alternate products that you can offer to the customer related to the purchase or to the interest that the customer is willing to do with you. And the most important is the follow-up activity, that you will always have a way to get reminders of following up this customer who's interested in your company and your services and your product. And based on all the information I just mentioned, you'll be able to keep track and provide a better service and translate it obviously into a better experience, and that makes customers become more loyal. Okay, so moving on to the third reason, to improve customer experience. From the marketing perspective, usually the experience begins with when a client receives information about our brands, our products through advertising. So promoting product, services, invitation, or even notifications, it's what the customer gets from us once we are in a database. Or let's say I'm in a database of a company and getting all this information out of a company. This is what we get from the beginning that allows to understand if the customer is really aiming to us as a strategic way of approaching to us as a customer by the knowledge they have, or they are just sending information right away. 2 days ago we had Mother's Day here, and I was getting information for Mother's Day. I do have a mother, but it's exactly what you're looking for. Now it's like, do you know that you have certain information out of your customers? Everyone has a mother mostly, but you don't want to send this kind of information to someone with probably 70 years old. The probability of having a mother at that age, it's a little bit, well, we know what I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to say is that once you have information out of your customer, you're willing to analyze the information and filter it so that you can prepare better campaigns. From the sales perspective, no matter how short or long the sales process might be, it will run smoothly because we as salespeople will have all the information required so that our client does not feel obstacles in the process. The typical situation is that we see this many times, is that we are asking information that the company already has, and we have given that information 100 times. So as a point out for you guys, you should never ask for things that you already know or you already have, even if it takes you 2 hours to get it out of a shelf or out of a drawer or whatever. As long as you have the customer information, all the information has to be in one place near to the customer records, and that's what CRM is for. It is the same for customer service departments. Let's say the company in question has all the information they need about you, send you notification about the thing you should know, and are aware of everything that you represent as a valued customer. Send you notification, tells you when your invoice is going to due, tells you, reminds you when you have to pay, and sort of that sort of thing that allows you to understand that the company is really looking forward to you as a customer. Okay, so all this is possible thanks to the 360-degree vision that the CRM provides you with as a company. Okay, so for the fourth reason, and connecting this to one of the items previous, today is equally important to have an active presence in social network than to have a call center or a receptionist. And I'm saying this because normally we think of social media as advertising, but we also have to see that as a customer service center. A large number of information requests, case openings, or claims are held from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google+, whatever. All of this requires a tool that not only captures the request, but you want to have this information placed on the customer account with the existing information. So you have the request, you have the information from the customer, such as demographics, preferences, products purchased, how long has that person been your client, level of importance, everything you need to know from that person, you have it in the account. Okay, so that's very important once you have your account connected to the record of the customer coming from the social media. So a tool that allows you to manage your social media not only attacks the service requests and cases, we have access to as many information as possible to carry out marketing campaigns better targeted with immediately visible statistics. So you're doing your marketing campaign and you have the statistics right away. So you don't have to wait for a partner or an external company to give you the numbers. You already have that in the system. So you have it, you can better analyze, and you can see the results and the ROI right away. Okay, and that's something that in a regular ways it's really hard to get. Moving on to the fifth reason, this deeper customer knowledge. Also connecting it with the previous topic, imagine having a list of all your customers' birthday created from the CRM connection to a network like Facebook. You already have the customer birthday. You have information about their hobbies, their interests. You just need the perfect gift at this point. And guess what? You already have that. You have access to the social network. You can log in. You can look at the customer preferences. If it doesn't work out, you just have to call the assistant. But you're most likely to have all the information right there. And you also have the birthdays, which allows you to say happy birthday to that person. And it's not only this. Better customer knowledge is knowing when and how many times a customer has approached to your company, how many products he has purchased, the warranty status of these products, if the customer has opened a closed case with you, why he purchased or why he did not purchase with you. Understand if it was an error on your part or if it was simply a change of opinion. So all of this helps us be more skilled at the time we have a customer in front of us. And as I said before, people prefer to buy from someone they know or someone that knows about them because you feel more comfortable and more willing to give information and to open up on the things you need to that person who knows about you. We will jump into the sixth reason, broader customer knowledge. We will have access with the CRM to have real-time visibility, syncing accounts, contacts, products with the current company system, with the current system that you have in place, the core system. The idea of having this connection is for you to have everything updated at the same time. So that we're talking about updating information coming from the accountant department, you will have that in the CRM updated, and if you update it in the CRM, you will have it also in the core system. You will share process with departments that do not have CRM access to the CRM. You can connect it to the operation support system. You can connect it to the business support system. You can make all the company connected and have out of those systems to provide a better customer service, to provide a better sales experience, all the information you need from each account. So at the end, you will have a 360 view at the CRM, thanks to the connections that you can make with the CRM solution to add to the core systems in your company. Real-time analysis with the customer-centric information is vital to determine what marketing efforts, sales strategies, and customer service processes are and are not contributing to your success. The idea of this is have everything aligned into the CRM solution and being able to take a look, understand what's working and what's not, trial and error, and then move on to with the things that really work and really make your department success. The step number 7 is that's not step. The reason number 7 is greater productivity. The implementation of a CRM can increase sales productivity, allowing you to close more deals, increase sales, and improve decision in real time, and add a huge forecast accuracy. Having access to this features such as the process of GM's monitoring, campaign and lead management, activity management, centralized customer information, and when centralized, we're talking about connecting your core systems and as we mentioned before, to the CRM and have everything all together on one screen. Workflows, approvals, mobility, having all together will allow you to be more productive. And this is what we talk about when we say greater productivity. You will have access to data analysis, execute documents digitally if you want, accept proposals on the go with your phone, with your tablet, in your watch if you want, approve discount, or even make case exception once you're on the go. The 8th reason we found out based on our experience is greater predictability via forecast and trend analysis. We started the presentation saying that every company wants to become bigger, and that in order to do that, you need more sales, or you need your business to grow. Having more sales immediately takes you to wanting to know what's going on and what's going to happen next. And by next, we mean next week, next month, next quarter, next year. With a forecasting tool, you have access to all the sales information from your sales team. How are they doing compared to their quota? How close we are to our goals? Which salesperson has enough pipeline to help us meet the target? And how everything is distributed within your team. So the idea of having it is to make you have a better vision and to understand what's going to happen in the future. And as we mentioned before, the future for us could be next week, next month, next year. Accurate forecasting looks to increase commercial credibility. You have less risk, and you can improve overall business management. For the 9th reason, better business is decision making. You will gain business control having access to your mobile, as we mentioned before. Mobile access will give you all the information you need at the tip of your hands, allowing you to take decision anytime, anywhere. And it's very important. This is where you're not talking about analyzing things over the phone or over an email. You'll have access to the real data inside the system, and you can communicate your decision using an internal communication tool that would allow you to make this post on individual customer or lead records inside the systems. You'll have access to your database. You'll have access to your customer information, to all the opportunities, the forecasting, all the dashboards that you can see in the screen. Then you will be better informed to take these decisions. For the last reason, you'll have a greater impact in overall business performance. Other areas that benefit from the companies are product development, creating new product based on the trends, or based on what's going on with the accounts you have and the purchase they are making. Pricing adjustment and yield management, inventory management based on trends, financial planning, operation department, which will have an input of what's going on in the sales department to be better prepared for the upcoming business into the company. So this is basically how the CRM solution will help the company overall, and all the departments that don't even include in the CRM project. Um, so in summary, having a CRM solution will help you to improve marketing and having better targeted campaigns, improve the sales team visibility, and allow the customer service department to have more information and to be able to help the customer with more detailed and better maintain them better informed on what's going on with their services and with any cases or any claims being opened. Maximize revenue growth, improve customer experience, as we mentioned before. Improve and expand brand image. That's something that belongs to marketing. Deepen customer knowledge. We'll have, as we said in one of the previous slides, more information about that customer. Everything will be connected into the system. Everything will be in one screen. You will be able to provide the customer with any information without having to put them on hold, without having to escalate it to someone else. If you are prepared enough, you will have the information right there, and you just have to communicate it to the customer. You will have broadened customer knowledge, increased productivity, improved forecasting and trend analysis, improved decision making, which is basically the idea of having a CRM, being more prepared to take decisions, and once again having greater impact on overall business performance. So being all this mentioned, I'm going to pass on to the questions, and for that I have Diana on board, which will join me and ask me the questions being posted on the chats.
Hi, Alberto. Thank you.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
Yes,
Hi, how are you, Diana?
Yes, we have some questions from the attendees. So I'm going to go with the first one. Here they're asking about the RIO that you mentioned. They want to know
the ROI.
ROI, yes.
Yeah, the ROI.
How can I calculate the ROI in a CRM implementation?
Well, it depends on your industry. You'll have an ROI template that it could be given to you, so you can fill it out based on the department that you're going to involve in the CRM project, and how big the project will be, the time of implementation, and obviously your budget. So based on your numbers, you can use that ROI to understand how long it will take for you to get your money back out of your CRM investment. But yes, there's definitely an ROI that we can provide you with. We can help you out filling it, and you will be able to learn before even investing into a CRM how big your return on investment will be.
Perfect, thank you. We have a question about timing, Alberto. They're asking, what is the average time that this implementation that you're talking about, the CRM implementation, will take after you make the decision?
We're talking about the timing of the implementation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you usually have an approximate of 3-4 months for a CRM project to be implemented, but that obviously depends on how big the project is, what's the scope of the project, and what the company is looking for. Sometimes projects get split into stages. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 stages, depending on how big the project is. But you can say that in approximately, without the trainings, let's say 3 to 4 months. That could be a nice number for people to start thinking about how long it'll take for them after the decision is made. And after the project is coordinated with a company, that we can say 3 to 4 months to implement. There's projects obviously that could take 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 months, but a nice number will be 3 to 4 months.
Thank you. We have another question. They're asking, what is the difference between a CRM out of the box versus integrating or using a company that would include the implementation?
Well, my recommendation, Diana, for this is that when you're thinking about having a CRM as it comes out of the box, you probably are. I would say that you have to be like a really new company who doesn't have the processes defined, or that uh, so that you can accommodate to the processes that the CRM solution has out of the box. Honestly, in my experience, a very low percentage of probably 1% of the customers I've talked with so far can't use a CRM solution out of the box. And even if they can, they will require training, they will require coaching, they will require best practices. So, and some sort of modification will have to be made to the CRM in order to accommodate the CRM condition as it comes out of the box to the customer's industry. So it's very hard for someone, for me particularly, to imagine someone using a CRM out of the box. It can happen, but you have to adapt yourself to what the CRM has inside. If you're a big company, if you are a small company with 2 or 3 years doing your businesses and your processes are well defined, it will be really hard for you to find a CRM solution that comes out of the box, ready to be implemented in your environment, and for you not to have a big change in your culture, and not in your culture, but in your processes. Honestly, you will have to hire a company to configure the CRM and to provide you with a good training and best practices on how to use in the CRM.
Thank you, Alberto. We have a last question here because I see here that some of them are the same. So, okay. What signs can I detect in my company to tell me that I need a CRM?
Signs, okay, that's a good question. When we thought about this webinar, we were thinking about the reason of why you need a CRM. But yes, things that happen that tell you need a CRM, it's a little bit different, right? So having not being able to follow up on your sales and saying, okay, I'm missing sales because I forgot to call someone or I forgot to return an email, are obviously signs of, in a sales department, someone that needs a CRM solution better than an Excel sheet. The fact that I can tell that most of the companies we visit that do not have a CRM solution are working their dashboards and the reports out of Excel sheets. So that's another sign. If you're making your dashboards and your reports out of an Excel sheet, that means that you're working hours and hours long into an Excel sheet, inputting numbers manually to get the result. And you're not an expert on Excel. I'm talking about someone from the IT department, someone from processes working on that for you. So that means that you're bothering someone else so you can get the numbers you want, so you can review it for a couple of minutes and then take a decision. So having manual information input into an Excel file in order to get reports and dashboards is actually another sign of requiring a CRM. And this is sales, basically. If we go to marketing, sending campaigns or preparing campaigns not being targeted enough to anyone is actually another reason of why you need a CRM. When you spread the word about what you're doing for Mother's Day and you're not aiming to the right people, it's actually one sign that you required a solution that allows you to target between the contacts you have, the leads you have, to target that campaign and to make it work better. In customer service, I think we have all passed through this at least once or 2 or 3 or maybe 100 times. You call a company and they ask for your information. They should already have that from your caller ID, but they ask for your information to confirm, and then they tell you have to go to another department. So running around from one department to another and talking to different people and explaining the same situation to all of them is clearly a sign that the company requires a CRM solution that has all the information inside the system so that the customer doesn't have to feel uncomfortable providing that information. And when it's asking for information, it is not that much of a problem because you're just asking for information. You as a customer might feel uncomfortable and might even talk back to someone and make them stop asking you the same questions. But when you're filing a claim, when you are requesting a warranty claim, and when you're mad at something and on top of that, they start asking you questions like 3, 4, 5 times the same question because you're talking to different people, that's what it becomes a problem. Because you're mad at the situation, and now you have to be mad because they're asking on top of your mood. They're asking too many questions about the same thing that you already told to someone else. So trying to cover these 3 departments based on what the customer might experience, that's basically reasons of why, not reasons, but indicators that might tell you, yes, I need something that allows me to have all the information centralized, all the demographics of my customer put into one place, and all the product purchase history, let's say, for sales, put into one screen so I can take a better look at my customer and have a better overview of what the customer means for me as an account. This is from let's say, from the coworker, from the people in the operating the process on the commercial department's perspective. When going up to a higher level, talking about a management team, I mentioned before, having a report and asking it for someone else when you could have a CRM solution that would take you 5 to 2 minutes to create a report, 2 to 5 minutes to create a report, and then convert that into a dashboard. That will be an ideal example of, okay, I need a CRM because I cannot spend time doing reports or asking for someone else to do the reports for me. When my coworker, when my colleague asks me about my sales and in my team and how are they doing, and I cannot answer that unless I talk to each one of them or wait for them to send me a report of how they are doing, that's an indicator that I need a CRM. Because the idea of being in 2016 is that you can have access to your phone, open your app, and have access to all the dashboards and all the information you require from your team in order to be better informed. So that when you have a meeting with your boss, you don't have to start running around on emails and sending text to anyone. You have one screen, everything all together in your phone, and you can answer back all the information that your boss might be requesting from you in order for you to inform him how the situation is. And that's if your boss doesn't have access to your information. He shouldn't be asking you for that, because if it's into CRM, he should already have all that information from you and from your team. So these are basically indicators that you can you would normally see inside a company, and that would most likely tell you, yes, we need a CRM.
Thank you, Alberto.
You said that was the last question, right, Diana?
Yes.
Okay, so we move on to finalizing the webinar. We thank you all for joining us. We hope you had a great experience listening to this. If you connected to any of the subject, any of the reasons of why you need a CRM, you can contact us. Here's our social network access. You have Twitter, Facebook. You can find us on LinkedIn, and please remember to follow up on our next webinar, Maximize Your CRM, on June the 21st with Mariano Doble. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Alberto Hernandez. Diana Rijo is accompanying me, and we wish you a really good day.